Hello, everybody out there in YouTube land again. um, it's the start of my work week. Just kind of had a long day. I don't normally do videos days I work, so it's kind of unusual for me. But I'm just kind of trying to just stay into it. Also, I thought I'd do a little one here. I saw that Lone Ranger movie finally, and I don't necessarily like to just sort of go with reviewers, but I think this time I'm going to have to. That movie was just awful in a multitude of ways. Now, don't get me wrong, it was if it was some other type of Western, if they tried to do something a little different with it, and it was kind of, it's not just the Lone Ranger, it's whenever they try and make anything that was serious a comedy, right? They tried to make Green Hornet a comedy. They ruined it, okay? They tried to do the same thing with 21 Jump Street. They tried to make 21 Jump Street a comedy. Ruined it. Johnny Depp was in that too, albeit just a little bit, but he was in it. There are just a lot of problems with the movie if it's going to carry the title Lone Ranger, right? It's just too funny. Well, I should probably say it attempts to be funny. It doesn't always pull it off. So there's that. It's too close to a comedy and not serious enough. I don't remember the series being very funny. Johnny Depp, as much as he would like to be, is not a Native American. My great-grandmother was a Native American. My father is a quarter Native American, which makes me an eighth just on my dad's side. I think I have another great-grandmother that was a Native American on my mom's side as well. That doesn't mean I can go playing an Indian in a movie, right? I wouldn't look right, because the fact is I'm 7/8 European, right? Like it just doesn't a little smattering of Native American does not a Native American make necessarily. Now, being just an eighth, my understanding is I could benefit from that in some ways if I wanted to actually join my tribe officially, and I had the paperwork to prove all that. I don't necessarily, and that stuff would be hard to get. But the point is, he doesn't really look like a Native American. He doesn't sound like a Native American. He has kind of this 5 o'clock shadow going the whole movie. I don't know. It's just I don't know. I enjoyed watching it if I stopped thinking about it being the Lone Ranger, kind of. Then it was sort of entertaining. But as the Lone Ranger, it's a big failure. And the box office would agree with me. I don't know what they were thinking, really. Now, had they had an actual Native American play Tonto, and if he was funny in the right way, then that might have meant something. That might have gone somewhere. And the film certainly had its serious moments, but those were kind of few and far between, It was always smattered with humor. Um, all that being said, I wouldn't say the acting was necessarily bad. Depp's acting was a little bad, but I guess it was past. He did his best he could. Word is, he didn't even really like himself in the role, so, maybe he just did it for the money, and that might show a little bit. But I think that's a bad reason to do a movie. I guess plenty of actors, that's the only reason an actor really does a movie, regardless of what they say. But I guess I don't, I just didn't like it, really. But I will say that, not only that, but, there's a lot of just silly stuff that happens. Like, they nearly escape death in ways in which they would just be pasted across the... it's like, if you guys fell off that train like that, you guys would be fucking dead. Deed. No questions, no ifs, ands, or buts, or anything like that. Okay, so all of that being said, there were some nice things about the film. Most of the effects were really practical. There wasn't too much CG going on. The sets and locations were beautiful. I guess they kind of filmed it in like the Southwest. It was supposed to be filmed in Texas. And I just generally like to watch movies that were filmed in Texas, being a Texan. Brent Spiner is a Texan. I don't know if you guys knew that. If you don't know who Brent Spiner is, then probably you need to, find out. So, that was kind of a big reason I watched it anyway. They made him look old really, really well. Kind of at the beginning of the movie, Tonto's a little older. And, good makeup. So, the movie certainly had its good points. But just, I don't know. They didn't. The ends did not justify the means, really. In this case, I don't know what they were thinking. I don't know. It's like everybody kind of went into it with good intentions, but it sort of just turned out being kind of a farce and an insult towards the original thing, And I think that's really what a movie shouldn't do, right? The Matrix didn't spit in Tron's face. The Matrix took Tron and made it a little better, a little more interesting in some ways. Fleshed it out a little bit more, as it were. This movie spat in the face of the Lone Ranger, and that seems like it might be a dangerous thing to do. So definitely don't waste your money on it in any way. If you can see it at someone else's house after, being in the right frame of mind, then perhaps that would be a good way to go about seeing it. Otherwise, you're gonna waste a couple hours of your life. Any people that are fans of the Lone Ranger, you're not gonna like this movie. Any people who are fans of Johnny Depp aren't gonna like this movie. The bad guy's pretty good. Of course, there's always more than one bad guy, but the guy that you think is the only bad guy for the majority of the movie, he's pretty bad, that guy. And that's another thing I will give the movie. It was fairly violent and graphic for a Disney film. I think Disney's finally kind of starting to grow up some. Like, you know what? We're gonna make some kind of, you know, cutting edge movies for the family market. You know, oh yeah, my National Lampoon's t-shirt. Forgot I was wearing it. So, yeah, just I wasn't impressed. Not with the story or the acting or anything like that. So what I am going to do is I am going to go ahead and make this one of the shorter videos I've done, because there's really not much more to say about it, and then I actually have something to say about something else, which will probably be a little bit more interesting. So we'll go ahead and cut it here. Don't waste your time on it. Goemonronin signing out.